On the news, Nigerian government declares October 1 public holiday to celebrate 64th Independence Day. Tinubu constitutes Northwest Development Commission Board. And Binance Changpeng Zhao released after 4 months. Thank you for joining us on News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I'm Simisola Atiku. President Bola Tinubu has forwarded the names of members of the inaugural governing board of the Northwest Development Commission to the Senate for confirmation. The step follows Tinubu's signing of the Northwest Development Commission bill into law on July 24, marking a crucial milestone in the commission's establishment. Board nominees include Ambassador Haruna Ginshao from Jigawa State as chairman, while Professor Abdullahi Shehu Maji from Kano State will serve as the managing director/CEO. The board will focus on catalyzing significant growth, economic empowerment, and social development, and are expected to contribute their wealth of experience and expertise to the Commission's mandate of developing the Northwest region. The Nigerian government has declared Tuesday, October 1, 2024 as a public holiday to commemorate the nation's 64th Independence Day anniversary. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, who made the declaration on behalf of the Nigerian government, congratulated citizens at home and abroad on the occasion. Aligning himself with the theme for the anniversary, the minister reiterated the need for Nigerians to reflect on the labor of heroes past and be inspired for the tasks ahead. While wishing Nigerians a happy Independence Day anniversary, Tunji Ojo urged the citizens to continue to be steadfast in nation building. To protect against erosion hazards in Nigeria, the House of Representatives has called on the Federal Ministry of Works, the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency (FAMA), and the Ecological Fund Office to urgently fund the construction of new routes to connect affected communities. They also urged NEMA to resettle displaced residents and provide relief materials. House member representing Oyo State on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, Honorable Kolawole Akintayo, who raised the motion, expressed concern over the severe impact of gully erosion, which threatens communities by causing flooding of homes, farms, and public structures.
The House also concerns that the threat of gully erosion and devastating consequences on the livelihood and safety of the indigenous people and residents of the country. In addition, the problem of gully erosion has flooded a lot of structures, churches, farms, places of worship, schools, and football fields, and the road are in deplorable state. Also concerned that the issue of gully erosion poses a significant threat to the indigenous people of the community, causing a flood of various structures, further complicating the financial security of the people and displaced residents. Further concerned that if quick action is not taken to avert the disaster, the consequences of severe flooding at the height of rainy season could spark a looming danger and ultimately result in the death of well-meaning Nigerians due to erosions. As a result of reclamation and soil protection measures must be put in place to address the threat to community that could otherwise disappear.
The House has also approved a 288 billion naira supplementary budget for the Federal Capital Territory Administration for 2024. The approval came after the House Committee on FCT, led by Honorable Mokhtar Betara, presented a report highlighting the urgency of completing critical projects. In his letter to the National Assembly, President Bola Tinubu says the request is based on revised revenue and expenditure forecasts aligned with federal fiscal and development policies.
The House do consider the report of Committee on Federal Capital Territory on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account the total sum of 288 billion naira, of which the sum of 31 billion 100 million is for overhead costs, while the sum of 256 billion 900 million is for capital projects, of which the Federal Capital Territory Administration, Abuja, for the financial year 31st December 2024.
The Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, in conjunction with Oxfam and Fair Finance Nigeria, has issued a strong call for immediate action to tackle the pervasive issue of illicit financial flows in sub-Saharan Africa, with emphasis on Nigeria. The call was made in Abuja at a roundtable engagement on curbing illicit financial flows in Nigeria and improving human rights, environmental, social, and governance policies and practices. While presenting comprehensive recommendations to combat this growing problem, CISLAC identified financial institutions and multinational organizations as the chief enablers of illicit financial flows, adding that lawyers, real estate agents, customs officials, and corporate service providers knowingly and unknowingly facilitate the laundering of illicit funds.
Lack of transparency in trade and fiscal governance undermines public trust in public finance and national statistics. Illicit financial flows and tax evasions by multinational corporations present significant challenges to economic development and social equity in Nigeria, which Oxfam seeks to address.
Banks need to enforce and ensure that they, enforce that KYC, because that's very good to know who's taking money to where and who's really having these transactions. And so a lot of money flow in, they need to also deepen their due diligence to know where's that money coming from. Otherwise, because if we do that, when the CBN came up and tried to reduce and said you can't take more than a certain amount in cash, kidnapping reduced within that period. And look at what has happened. And this money's flow through the banks, and that's why we're focusing on the banking sector, or not just the banking sector, the financial sector, to ensure that all the things that I just mentioned are carried out within that sector to curb illicit financial flows.
Companies have found a way to work with very smart, intelligent lawyers who help them dodge taxes. And so tax dodging is one avenue where we lose billions as a country. And so companies come into this country, they operate here, they make huge profit, but they don't pay their fair share of taxes. And so the effort here, the initiative here, is to follow up with companies and ensure that some of those reports that they present to their regulators at the end of the year are scrutinized and audited, to find out to what extent are they making profit and to what extent are they also paying their fair share of taxes based on the profit that they're making in the country.
Palestine's ambassador to Nigeria, Abu Shawesh, has strongly condemned what he describes as the global leadership's failure to address the escalating crisis in the country, accusing them of neglect and double standards. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja, Shawesh highlighted several critical issues affecting Palestinians, including the inhumane treatment of prisoners and the destruction of Gaza's education infrastructure. According to him, the situation in Gaza has become increasingly dire, with the death toll now surpassing 41,000 and thousands more severely injured.
When the world is ruled by criminal gangster, thug, bandits, when hypocrisy and double standard became the norm in many Western media outlets, when criminal leaders presently repeated Israeli right to defend itself and turn their backs on the Palestinian right to defense and liberate themselves, when you all accused of anti-Semitic, if you refuse to consume the canned beliefs about Israel or challenge the hollow justification of its crimes, when the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court announced that he has been threatened and warned that the International Criminal Court was created only for African and Russian, when the logic of power toppled the power of logic, when the right creates might, then its nature to begin this press release by saying 356 days of horrific and televised genocide committed by Israel with the full funding, support, blessing, and complicity of the United States of America and some other Western countries.
Parents and guardians have been urged to strengthen their children's awareness of environmental consciousness as Nigeria prepares for the COP29 summit. The charge was made at the Eco exhibition in Abuja, a key event organized by Save the Children International under the Generation Hope campaign. Speaking at the event, the Health and Nutrition Advocacy Assistant at CSI explained the importance of giving children a platform to express their concerns about the future of the planet.
The exhibition is part of one of the activities for the COP29 simulation, and the inspiration is just ensuring that children's voices are heard when it comes to climate change. We know, like for the COP29, Nigeria has a delegation that's going to be going to the COP29 activity, but we want to ensure that those people actually hear the voice of children before those activities, and then children's voices, acts, and call to actions can be included in whatever Nigeria is presenting in their COP29 delegation. They came up with these activities themselves. They are the implementers of these activities, and they are also the people giving out messages for these activities. So you can see that they have messages, they have call to actions, they have letters that have been read in this activity, and they also have descriptions for their messages. So these are not just artworks. These artworks have messages behind them. So children have been involved from the inception to the implementation to the actual activity now.
A diagram of the earth showing the contrast of a greener future and how it is now. So that's what inspired me about this painting. And as the greenhouse, I made a model of the greenhouse because I actually thought about the greenhouse. And the greenhouse serves as the atmosphere and the ozone layer of the earth. So that's what happens. Just like the earth absorbs extra heat radiation from the sun, the greenhouse also absorbs extra heat radiation from the sun so that the plants will not get overheated or the plants will not be too cold during cold climate.
Any big chance that I myself can present my artwork, explain how climate change can affect myself as a child and the fellow children in Nigeria. Climate change is a dreadful thing that disturbs us Nigerian children, especially those with disabilities, like those who can't see and those who are unable to walk.
For years, women have been sidelined in certain career paths due to gender bias, particularly in fields traditionally dominated by men. However, times are changing, and one industry where women are increasingly making their mark is shoemaking, a business long associated with men. Victoria Ezenachuku is a shining example of this shift. As a female shoemaker, she has steadily built a name for herself in an industry once dominated by men. Her success highlights the growing presence of women in the trade and serves as an inspiration to others. TV360's Sydney Okafo completes the story.
Victoria Ezenachuku, the founder of Car Design, is a graduate of the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, in Imo State, where she studied crop science and technology. Delving into shoemaking during her school days was not difficult, thanks to her gift of craftsmanship. Growing up, Victoria exhibited qualities that proved that she would earn with the skills of her hands. Coming from humble beginnings, she had to deal with doubts from friends and family who saw shoemaking as a menial job in Nigeria.
Started from school. We had a church training in school where we were taught Ankara crafts. By the end of the training, I was the best student, and so our trainer decided to work with me. I was working with her for her other jobs. Then we had a strike in school. I went home, I was bored. I decided to go and further my Ankara craft knowledge, after which I was doing trainings. I had a lot of trainings, both physical and online. But for me to now go into leather works, it was born from my customers' requests. When they are always asking for, oh, can you make this? It's now beginning to blend Ankara and leather. So I saw the need to go into leather crafts.
Despite these challenges, Victoria did not relent on her dream of becoming a professional bespoke shoemaker. She now runs a thriving shoemaking enterprise. Her shoes are eye-catching and trendy. She also makes belts, female handbags, wallets, and slip-ons. She currently has 11 apprentices and 2 staff learning and working under her.
While we were in school, we were at loggerheads every time because there is lecture and immediately class closes, I'm running off to my workshop. I had like a small passerby workstation. I'll call it wasn't a shop, it was a workstation along the road in school. So this lady was always mocking me. She'd be like, you were sent here to study. If you don't want to study, go home. You did not even find anything good to learn. Shoemaking. That's how she puts it. But let's say 7 years down the line, she's now learning the same shoemaking, and then she's saying, oh, my role model, I have a question. Can you put me through this? I believe she probably does not even remember those days, or maybe the direction I have taken shoemaking to, where I am today as a shoemaker has probably made her see shoemaking in a different light.
The learning here has really been amazing, and it's kind of fun too. You're learning on that cow, so you have to, exhibit that cow, behavior in you too.
Victoria has been able to scale through in a male-dominated shoemaking industry, and now she is dreaming big.
So in the next 5 years, Carl Designs will be going into production in a bespoke style. I am very sure nothing like that has been heard of before. So production in the bespoke style means that we'll be rolling out hundreds to thousands of shoes weekly, but we're still going to maintain the standard of Carl Designs.
Victoria's works have attracted clients both home and abroad. She aspires to be an influential figure in Nigerian bespoke shoe industry. She also plans to establish an academy where young girls can pursue careers in fields that are dominated by men without fear of rejection from society. Sydney Okafor, TV 360, Lagos.
We'll take a break here. Coming up in the news, Hezbollah confirms death of leader Hassan Nasrallah in Israeli airstrike. Stay with us for details shortly. Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. President Bola Tinubu has forwarded the names of members of the inaugural governing board of the Northwest Development Commission to the Senate for confirmation. The step follows President Tinubu's signing of the Northwest Development Commission bill into law on July 24, marking a crucial milestone in the Commission's establishment. The board will focus on catalyzing significant growth, economic empowerment, and social development in the Northwest region. We also informed you that the Nigerian government has declared Tuesday, 1st of October 2024 as a public holiday to commemorate the nation's 64th Independence Day anniversary. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who made the declaration on behalf of the Nigerian government, congratulated citizens at home and abroad on the occasion. While wishing Nigerians a happy Independence Day anniversary, Tunji-Ojo urged the citizens to continue to be steadfast in nation building. In case you missed any of our news bulletins, or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're TV360 Online. The Ethnic Youth Leaders Council of Nigeria has backed the House of Representatives' move to investigate Guarantee Trust Bank and its Group Chief Executive Officer Segun Agbaje over allegations of fabricating a 1 trillion naira profit and making unauthorized deductions from customers' accounts. This follows a petition submitted by President of the Arewa Consultative Movement, Yusuf Kabir, which the House of Representatives adopted. Speaking in Abuja, spokesperson of the Ethnic Youth Leaders Council of Nigeria, Danesi Momo, emphasized the need for swift action by both the House of Representatives and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The group called for a forensic audit of the bank's financial records and the suspension of Agbaje to allow for comprehensive investigations.
Research reports have indicated that GT may have reported fictitious profit of 1 trillion naira. This raises significant concern regarding authority of their financial statement and whether these figures were manipulated to mislead the stakeholders or the public. There are claims suggesting that Mr. Agbaje has utilized family members as front for various businesses dealings with GTB. These practices raises ethical questions and suggests potential conflict of interest that could undermine the integrity of the bank's operation. Allegations have emerged regarding round tripping, where funds are cycled through different accounts.
The founder of Binance and a key figure in the global cryptocurrency industry, Changpeng Zhao, has been released from a California correctional facility after serving a 4-month sentence for failing to enforce anti-money laundering protocols on his exchange. The 47-year-old returned to the United States from Dubai earlier this year to face charges and serve time linked to regulatory breaches at Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange by trading volume. Zhao's release marks a turning point for Binance, but the exchange faces ongoing scrutiny as regulators worldwide ramp up efforts to bring the largely unregulated crypto sector under tighter control. On the sidelines of the 79th United Nations General Assembly in New York, world leaders have unveiled initiatives to end energy poverty while promoting sustainable energy. According to a statement, Sustainable Energy for All hosted the Raising Ambition on SDG 7 event with partners Africa 50 and NL Corporation, focusing on global support towards an energy transition that ends energy poverty, combats climate change, and powers livelihoods. It says the events showcased proven solutions to deliver progress on a just and equitable energy transition, with 2 global initiatives focused on mobilizing finance and distributed renewable energy solutions as key levers to ending energy poverty. On the foreign scene, Lebanon's Hezbollah group has confirmed that its leader and one of its founders, Hassan Nasrallah, has been killed in an Israeli airstrike in Beirut. Nasrallah, who led Hezbollah for more than 3 decades, is by far the most powerful target to be killed by Israel in weeks of intensified fighting with Hezbollah. The Israeli military says it carried out a precise airstrike on Friday while Hezbollah leadership was meeting at their headquarters in Dahiyeh, south of Beirut. According to the Lebanese Health Ministry, 6 people were killed and 91 injured in the strikes, which leveled 6 apartment buildings. Barely 3 days after Delta State government dissolved the management of the state-owned football club Warri Wolves and Delta Queens FC, 12 candidates have begun intense lobbying to coach the teams. Warri Wolves is presently preparing to play in the 2024-2025 Nigerian National League session, and Delta Queens is also gearing up to participate in the Nigeria Women Football League. A new management is expected to be constituted soon for both clubs to reposition them ahead of the upcoming session. The Argentine Football Association has disclosed that World Cup winning goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez has been banned for 2 matches by FIFA for offensive behavior. The 32-year-old Aston Villa star was also found guilty of violating principles of fair play in 2 separate episodes. Martinez was found to have violated FIFA's code of conduct when holding a replica of the Copa America trophy inappropriately after the World Cup qualifier win over Chile on September 5. Well, that brings us to the end of the news. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.